Types of graphs and applications. Graph data type. Graph processing algorithms generally first build an internal representation of a graph by adding edges, then process it by iterating over the vertices and over the vertices adjacent to a given vertex. The following API supports such processing. Graph implementation. Graph.java implements this API. Its internal representation is a symbol table of sets. The keys are vertices and the values are the sets of neighbors, the vertices adjacent to the key. This implementation has three important properties. Clients can efficiently iterate through the graph vertices. C. Clients can efficiently iterate through a vertex's neighbors. Space usage is proportional to the number of edges. Pie chart. Creating a pie chart. To create a pie chart, you must instantiate the pie chart class, define the data, assign the data items to the pie chart object, and add the chart to the application. Each pie chart data object has two fields, the name of the pie slice and its corresponding value. This is a sample code of creating a pie chart. This is the output of the code. Line chart. Creating a line chart. To create a line chart, at a minimum, you must define two axes. Create the line chart object by instantiating the line chart class. Create one or more series of data by using the xychart.series class, and assign the data to the chart. This is a sample code to create a line chart. In this example, both vertical and horizontal axes are created by using the number axis class, a subclass of the axis class, to represent numerical values. Having declared both x and y axes numerical, you should specify number parameters for xychart.data objects when creating a series of data. The first parameters of xychart.data objects define values for the horizontal axis, whereas the second parameters of the xychart.data objects define values for the vertical axis. This is the output of the code. Area chart. Creating an area chart. To create a simple area chart, at minimum, you must define two axes. Create the area chart object by instantiating the area chart class. Create one or more series of data by using the xychart.series class, and assign the data to the chart. When instantiating the area chart class, you can specify the observable list with a series of data within a constructor, or add the series later by calling the getData and addAll methods on the area chart object. This is a sample code to create an area chart. This example creates two number axis objects to present numerical data on horizontal and vertical axes. Values rendered on the horizontal axis, x, are retrieved from the first parameter of the xychart.data objects, whereas the second parameter provides data for the vertical axis, y. The series of data is assigned to the chart by using the getData and addAll methods. Because the series may data is added last, the corresponding green area overlays the yellow area that shows April data. This is the output of the code. Bubble chart. Creating a bubble chart. To create a bubble chart, at minimum, you must instantiate the bubble chart class, define horizontal and vertical axes, and specify one or more series of data by using constructors of the xychart.data class with 2 or 3 parameters. This is a sample code of a bubble chart. This is the output of the code. This application defines lower and upper boundaries of the data ranges and the tick units within the constructors of the number axis class. Additionally, the minor tick count is set to 4, so that each minor tick corresponds to a particular week. Scatter chart. Creating a scatter chart. To create a scatter chart, define at least one series of data, set horizontal and vertical axes, Create the chart by instantiating the scatter chart class, and assign data to the chart. This is a sample code of a scatter chart. In this example, the scatter chart object is created with two number axes to present numerical data for years and amounts of returns. The range of the data and the tick unit are defined within constructors of the number axis class. This is the output of the code. Bar chart. Creating a bar chart. To build a bar chart, create two axes, instantiate the bar chart class, define the series of data, and assign the data to the chart. This is a sample code of a vertical bar chart. This is the output of the code. Two properties of the bar chart class enable managing space between categories of data and between bars within the same category. Use the bar gap and category gap properties to better distribute bars in the chart plot. Horizontal bar chart. You can change the orientation of the bar chart from vertical to horizontal by defining the category for the vertical axis. This is the sample code of a horizontal bar chart. Note that the setTick label rotation method is called on the horizontal axis to rotate labels and make the value captions easier to read. This is the output of the code. Horizontal bar charts can be particularly helpful when you want to represent data as ranked lists.